Oh, jeez, now it's upside down. Hang on. Turned it the wrong direction. Hey, folks, have another taco. I'm Joseph. I am down by where we sadly do not have an Operation Inflation booth tonight. I'd been kind of worried about Jordy and Lacey, and I have learned what happened is that on top of like every fucking thing else that's been happening lately, they lost their cat. Their cat died. So yeah, that's really sad. Not just on top of fucking everything else that's happened lately. So Jordy, Lacey, I doubt you're watching, but if you are, we love you. Take care. And come back when you're ready. We'll be here. Anyway, some good news. I have been dealing with like floppy phone mounts for a while. This, right here, is an Arca plate mount. It's got these little grooves on the side. You just drop it in, turn the knob, and it's not going anywhere. And it's a metal mount, so it'll hold on to the phone. I'm not pointing the camera at it. That's me being me. So yeah, good phone mount. I just dropped the phone on it and twist the little knob on the top, and you guys are clipped into the mount, and now you guys are on the tripod. That simple. I'm gonna flip this around because I haven't set up any chairs yet, and also I still have my policy of I don't film people's faces down here. There are only a few people around here. Like it. Oh no, there are. There weren't a minute ago. I looked away and now there are people. There's a couple people out there. A few more over here. So much going on. I'm a little late because I had a Portland Net meeting. If you don't know what that is and you're in town, Portland Net is nationally the federal CERT program, which, you know, you think about it's the clipboard waving guys that show up, you know, whenever there's like a disaster, anything really. Portland uses its net teams for everything. Like if there's a parade, Portland Net, it will be there. And I'm not pointing at the people down across the street. Jeez, you suck at this place. We use them for parades. We use them for really anytime there's going to be people downtown who might, you know, maybe benefit from some organization. Volunteers, you know, people providing like bottles of water to people who get too hot in the summer. Know how to call for help. If there's something that happens any other time, you know, if somebody doesn't have a phone on them or something, or their phone is dead, or, you know, has some basic first aid training in the event of somebody needing that. You know, and if there's like an earthquake or a disaster or something, they're the people who are going to show up before you get yourself organized, probably, at some place nearby where you live, and be ready to render assistance. They're good people, and I have been inactive, but I've been involved for, well, I got involved after Hurricane Katrina. I didn't live in Portland that early, but about 2011 I went through my final training, And that was where I discovered, actually, because your final training you do over at the fire department's training center. You know, where they basically teach firefighters how to handle things they haven't experienced before. Where they practice putting out fires. They go into buildings that are, you know, have no power, filled with smoke or steam or dust or whatever, and just help out where they can. They teach us in the same place. You know, I got to put out a fire. I'm setting up the table here because I have had nothing to eat all day. No food, no sleep. That's bad for me. Bad combination, too. But I'm getting things situated here. Small mount tilt. There we go. There, I should be able to read chat now. The sun has gone down and we're good to go. But anyway, it's a good program. Some places don't use CERT very much. The Portland area really does. So I have been inactive and I'm glad to get active again. Okay, wow. There has been a lot of chat. This is going to take me a minute. All right. Is it raining in Portland? You know, I think it isn't going to do that anytime real soon. I mean, look at that. We got some blue skies over us, but the wind is blowing this direction, and I do see clouds over the horizon. So it will eventually probably. Those clouds are looking a little more rainy, though. And actually, the wind is kind of coming from both directions. So we'll see which clouds get to us first. Back to the front line. There we go. And I just took off my jacket because it seemed warm, but now all of a sudden, not so much. So I'm going to put it back on. But I did come out here and bring something to eat. So I did need to set up the table for that. But here we go. Okay, back to chat. I'm going to try and go through this real quickly. The taco truck is well stocked full of stuff, although I don't have any tacos in it today. I have a sandwich. By the way, the Italian is really good if you have not had it. And you like what is on it. I mean, obviously, it is a non-vegetarian option. Yes, Nathan is taking the night off. He normally does on Monday. They have removed several benches at several stops in Portland. I'm not happy about that. I'm one of those guys who kind of needs to sit down. But they're like, oh, we don't want people laying down. I'm not fond of that. Where'd everybody go? Nobody over there at the moment. Okay, I don't know who Danny Rebel is, but apparently there was talk about Nathan and I on his stream. So the thing about, you know, the whole... One of the things that bothers me is the whole stolen land argument for Israel. Not because I support what Israel's doing. I absolutely fucking do not. But at the same time, every single part of the world has been conquered, reconquered, re-reconquered, back and forth, over and over again. At some point, and I don't know when that point is, at some point, possession means it's yours. I mean, at this point, I would say we fucked over the Native Americans, but the United States belongs to the people who live here now. And that includes them. Because as I understand it, every Native American also has U.S. citizenship, and they should. By that argument, though, Israel has not managed to hold that area of Palestine no, I brought a sandwich.
Wasting the taxpayers' gas money.
No, thank you.
Go eat a donut. Sit down.
Yeah, so really it comes down to, at some point, you have to accept that territory changes hands. Israel conquered that territory in a war they didn't start, but they didn't really hold on to it.
Can I take a picture of, or
Sure.
or I want to find your, because I need to ask you about one of your videos. But how do I find you on YouTube? Would you say it's not one more taco?
Have another taco.
Have another taco.
Although today I brought a sandwich. I ordered taco stickers, so my costume will have a taco.
Who did? Yeah, because they're gonna help. They're gonna help arrest me. That's why. Okay, I found you.
I exist. Why the fuck are you going to jail?
Because they fucking lied about me, Judge.
Oh, so, Saturday a couple of things ended up in my wagon that aren't mine. One of them is somebody's power bill. And another, this looks, defensive-y. Oh, did I forget to bring? I may. Today I've been having. Is Ash out here by chance?
So I can just get it over with now, or I can leave.
Oh, I completely forgot him, it looks like. Alright. Well, that sucks. I'll have it later if I want it, but... I had a cold soda. This one is not cold. And I had an energy drink, which I don't normally drink, but tonight I kind of want it.
Oh, they would see. It's just because the men are free.
Anyway, so Israel took that territory, the, Gaza Strip, etc., West Bank, but they haven't really secured it, and they're not doing right by the people that lived there. They're not allowing them to become citizens despite having lots of... What did they think was going to happen? And I mean, fuck Hamas. But at the same time, fuck Hamas, but also fuck Netanyahu. And then this whole expansionist shit, that doesn't help anybody. And then you get fucking Trump making things worse because he's a moron that they've got literally blackmail material on. Israel's a mess. I mean, I don't have a good answer for that. But I mean, at some point, the nation of Israel itself, it has a right to exist. It's existed now for a couple of generations. It's theirs. What was the UN wrong as fuck to just say, hey, we're giving you somebody else's country? Yeah, it was. What the fuck was the UN thinking? That they wanted to solve this Jewish problem. And they had a theoretically slightly better solution than Shitlip did. I don't know, I can't fix the Middle East. That's beyond me.
I'm trying to decide if I'm just going to get it over with and get arrested now or get arrested before. It's better to get arrested here.
If you got a warrant, if you don't have a warrant,
no.
Don't worry about it.
No, but a Fed lied about me and to arrest me, and then a judge said that I couldn't be here, which is bullshit. I should never lose my First Amendment right. I fought in the combat zone, and I'm not doing anything wrong sitting here on this corner.
Then stay over here. If you aren't over there, I doubt they're gonna mess with you.
No, they're gonna. No, because I know them. I've been doing this a long time. They're definitely gonna arrest me tonight. That's why PPP is helping them. That's why PPP just goes outside. You guys say you saw people.
Yay, TriMet! That would be a 40. The way I figure it, the people of Israel have a right to live in peace and not be attacked, which is why Hamas can fuck off. The people of the Palestine region, West Bank, Gaza Strip, they have a right to live in peace and not be fucked with, so Netanyahu can fuck right off. The Houthis and Hezbollah, they can fuck right off. the Iranian government, which is oppressive as fuck and was kind of installed by help of Jimmy Carter, no relation.
Do you have a pen? Do you have a pen?
Maybe, but I doubt it. I don't use them all that often.
Fair enough. Oh, okay.
Woo! You know what? I do.
Where with pen?
I think I do. Maybe. Do I?
will return it.
Do I? Damn it, I don't.
No?
Sometimes I keep one in here, but I think I took it out.
Okay,
Damn it.
okay.
Sorry.
Thank you, though.
The thing is, Netanyahu is a corrupt government leader. He will, and I'm so far behind on chat. I am so sorry, guys. Netanyahu, being a corrupt leader, literally on trial for corruption, interrupted by the war. When they started the war, this time something happened, yes, and it was Hamas that did it. But now Netanyahu is willing to go to war with the entire fucking Middle East to stay out of prison. Because as long as there's a state of war, he's not on trial. Same reason why Donald Trump keeps starting fucking wars. He wants to stay out of prison over what he did to children because he's a child rapist. See, I don't worry about saying that. If they make my... If they do stuff to my stream over it, whatever. I don't care. On Monday, it's about the chat, and you guys know, you know stuff is about the chat. I wish I wasn't so far behind. Sorry for talking my mouth full. Anybody can edit Wikipedia, but it turns out actually that not terribly many people do. And what was shocking to me as, kind of an academic is, when I was in university, everybody said, oh, don't trust Wikipedia. Anybody can edit it. It's, not a reliable source. But Wikipedia is very good at marking things that are, not sourced and not verified as not sourced and not verified. And they will at least cite their sources. There will be bias in the articles. But they're sourced, so you know where the argument is coming from. You should look for other arguments for things that seem controversial. And, there have actually been studies, and one of the reasons why most of the other encyclopedias, you never hear about them anymore, is they were no less accurate and no more accurate than Wikipedia is. So, in the grand scheme of things, Wikipedia is doing a pretty damn good job overall. There are problems with Wikipedia. Oh, the problem with being in horizontal is that it is sometimes hard to work with chat. Actually, most of the time it's hard to work with chat. If anyone local has an old device they're not using anymore, please let me know. genuinely, I don't know if I would consider MAGA to be patriots or not. I think I would not, mostly. Because their loyalty is not to the United States. Their loyalty is entirely to Donald Trump. Entirely. The Constitution, they don't care. The Bill of Rights, you got a First Amendment right, they don't care. You got a Second Amendment right. If it applies to them, they care. If it applies to you, they don't. You got a Third Amendment right. The Third Amendment usually doesn't apply. You have a Fourth Amendment right. They don't care. Unless it applies to them. You got a Fifth Amendment right. They don't care unless it applies to them. You have a Sixth Amendment right. Donald Trump has, talked about throwing people in prison without trials, having people executed for, exercising the First Amendment. They don't care about the Sixth Amendment. Can we just go on down the line here? They don't care about the Constitution. They really don't care about, the main 4 pages of the Constitution that describe, separation of powers, and they don't care. So if they don't care about the Constitution, which is the foundation of the country, what do they care about? Donald Trump. Nothing else. Oh. And Christianity, as long as Donald Trump is okay, literally presenting himself as fucking Jesus. Now, I'm not going to join Tucker Carlson. Oh my God, he sent out the word fuck on Easter Sunday. He sent out fuck. How dare he? Oh, give it a fucking break. The word fuck, traditionally, in Anglo-Saxon culture, was not even considered profanity at all. Going around and talking about God this and God that was profanity. Words like fuck were not, which is why I don't mind using them. We have decided that we have to use the French words. The Saxon words are vulgar. I don't care. So the reason why we call it Portland Net instead of CERT, C-E-R-T, is that Portland has a CERT, S-E-R-T. It's the SWAT team. SWAT sounds so military. We can't call it SWAT. That's militarization of the police. We're going to give them all the same gear, the same training. We're just not going to call it SWAT. The thing is, if you call 911 and ask for a CERT, whichever one you intended to get, if you get the other one, it's a bad thing because, CERT with a C would show up with hard hats, flashlights, reflective vests, and clipboards to, fill out documentation of everything. Because when you're dealing with the government, if it's not written down, it didn't exist. It doesn't happen. And, CERT is showing up with pew, pew, pew. So whichever one you wanted, if you get the other one, you're going to have a bad time. So Portland renamed it. we aren't the only ones that have renamed it. Apparently there's a, somewhere calls it NERT. N-E-R-T. I don't know why they didn't just go with CERT, but they call it NERT. It's all the same thing. You take a couple classes, 28 hours total. You learn how to help people who are bleeding. You learn how to do triage. Yay, 35! This ad brought to you by the City of Portland. Nobody back over in front of the building. There's a few people down the block a little bit. Oh, what's her name? I cannot remember her name. Is insisting that she's gonna get arrested if she's out. If she is who I'm thinking, the other night, she was doing stuff to try to get arrested, it seemed like. And maybe she's not thinking about what she did to try to get arrested. The fact is, she didn't harm anything. But I think she was, if memory serves, she went up there and was banging on the gate and shouting at them, come out, come get it, you son of bitches, stuff like that. I mean, she's not the only one to ever do that, so if I'm remembering wrong, I apologize. And there's some drama related to all of that, and I don't want to get into it, really, but if she is who I think she is, or was, because I couldn't see who it was, somebody the other night got a little carried away. But I think over here she'd be fine. I don't think they care enough. If she's got to be, 250 feet away or 600 feet away, the fact is, if she's over here, she's about 75 feet away. But if she ain't causing no problems, I doubt there'd be any issue. But anyway, people are down the road. They're talking. But they're not here. And I would rather people be here. So I may eventually go across the street. Because people should be here. You know what? Let's go have a look. Asking about that SUV parked where streamers set up. The answer is, I don't know. But I'm gonna go find out. It looks to be an SUV. Nothing fancy about it. Might it be one of theirs? I don't know. Might it belong to these people over here in the garage? I don't know. But it's parked over here. If there's any problem associated with it, I wouldn't know what it is. See folks be down there a bit. See, and I come back and I just drop you in and tighten you down. There you are. It's related to what's going on in the garage. I'm surprised it's not parked over there because, I mean, they do have a parking lot over there. So I don't know why they're parked there. Literally could be anything for any purpose. I doubt it's ice related because they'd be morons to park one of their vehicles out here. Am I saying folks, am I saying that our folks would do something to an ice vehicle? They might. Especially since not all of our folks are behaving as they ought to. So why there's so many Portland police cars? Maybe they are looking to see if any trouble is happening out here. This weekend was kind of rough. And I mean, there's some serious what the fuck's going on in the world with like Trump acting like Jesus or acting like he's Jesus. If Trump were acting like Jesus, that would actually be a good thing. But no, he's not. He's acting like he's supposed to be Jesus. I wasn't paying attention. Sorry, guys. I missed the car that went in. Oh, well, then I'm not so interested in Danny Rebel. It would probably shock all of you that there was a domain for the Oregon Oath Keepers that I registered for them. And the guy who started the Oath Keepers went on to, like, cause January 6th. Now, I wasn't involved with them at the time. They seemed to be kind of going off in some directions I wasn't happy with. And I, offered to transfer the domain. I've paid for it for you guys for a little while. I would have been happy to set up the website for you, but it didn't actually coordinate with me. So, it didn't happen. And then it's like, if you don't want it, I'm going to have to let it lapse. I let it lapse, and by then I didn't really have anybody involved with the organization that I wanted to talk to. In particular, because the guy who was volunteering to head up things in Oregon was an anti-Semite. And I'm like, I'm not dealing with that neo-Nazi bullshit. Was he a neo-Nazi? He never said as much, but he definitely was an anti-Semite. Them Jews are the ones that killed Jesus, he says. Yeah, no, I'm not going there. I'm Catholic. Our traditions say that the people, not the Jews, the people, decided that Jesus needed to die that day. And it was known beforehand, blah, 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 blah. You don't need a sermon from me. So what I'm wondering about is, what is the obsession with these stupid fucking AI slop battery threats, memes, whatever the fuck? They're dumb. They're not funny. And, like, am I supposed to go, oh, haha, or am I supposed to go, eh? They're dumb. I don't care. They're hoping that if they do one of you, you do. I assume they've done one of me by now, at least. I ain't seen it. Hey, I know that truck. Did I realize I shot the license plate of that SUV? Yup. I am told that there are people who are looking out for me out here. Now, when I'm mostly by myself, there's some question about whether or not they'll be here if I needed them to be here. But the fact is, I do have some self-defense training myself. I am not willing to initiate a fight with anybody. But if somebody comes at me or, you know, seriously threatens my existence or whatever, I am not afraid to fail to point the camera at the building. I am not afraid to respond in a very, very permanent sort of fashion. On the argument that if you're attacking a blind person, you deserve whatever the fuck you get. I don't want to do it. I'd rather not have to do it. There are other people who are going to try and make sure that I'm not ever put in that position, and I really appreciate them. I wish they would do the same for basically anybody out here with a camera, because the honest truth is, we are watching a camera instead of what's going on around us, and that puts us all at risk. You know, when Nate's watching the camera, he's not watching what's going on behind him. And the same for the rest of us. Ideally, what I want out here Sorry guys, I need to actually eat something because my blood sugar was getting low. And And the sandwich is better for me than eating fruit snacks.
Want some almonds?
Nope, I have a sandwich.
Yeah, but I mean for later at home.
Oh, no, thank you.
These are really hard for me.
Yeah, I got the same problem.
I got this mixed nuts at Winco, and they're all good except the almonds are hard as a rock.
Yeah.
My teeth, anyway. All right.
I got the same problem because I've got half the teeth are gone over here and half are gone over here. They're just the wrong half on each side.
Oh, God, isn't that special?
Yeah.
I understand completely. Well, can you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
Try and give these away.
All right.
I sorted out most of the others.
Fuck ice! Just so they know that we're not, even if there's nobody in front of the building, there's still people out here who fucking hate them. Honestly, I don't think Trump makes it to 2028. The way he's going, his health is deteriorating way too fast. He's old, he's not taking care of himself. He's belligerent. And he keeps doing stuff like threatening nuclear war and acting like he's Jesus Christ himself. He's losing his support. He's losing his health. I think at some point, I really think he will resign in exchange for a promise that he won't be prosecuted. Will Democrats make that promise? They might. They might. I think a lot of people will be really pissed if they do, but they might. Because I realize that getting rid of him is... Well, see, that's the thing. Schumer is a fucking idiot. He's a coward. And he likes having power, although he doesn't like doing anything with it. Would he agree to not prosecute Trump in order for Trump to resign? Yeah, probably. Does he expect that he would lose basically the respect of the base for doing it? I think he's already lost the respect of the base. But I don't think he figures that he's in any danger of losing, you know. He doesn't think that anybody's going to oust him, basically. Either as Senate minority or then majority leader, nor as, a senator. I think he figures he's just in it for the long haul, and he can do what he wants in the meantime. But he's also thinking that, Trump is so dangerous that if we could get him out of there, because J.D. Vance has many things. He's not psychotic. A loser, a chameleon, anti-NATO, anti Europe? Oh yeah, he's all those things. But he wouldn't have started a nuclear war with Iran. It's not a nuclear war. At some point, either Trump is going to have to make it one or accept that he really has lost. Because he's threatened it. And you don't make those threats unless you're ready to carry them out. Now, I don't think he's ready to carry them out. But that's the thing. Neither do the Iranians. Which was going to force him either to admit that he lost, which this is Donald Trump, there's not a chance in hell, or to actually, you know, break out the nuclear weapons eventually. Or take the third exit. So then you guys have moved on to talking about the other issue, which is people being safe down here. Sorry, guys. I will stop eating for a minute so we can actually talk about this. People being safe down here. I've been very vocal about where I will and will not film faces up close. And I wasn't very good at it when I started because, you know, I didn't understand the etiquette and I hadn't set boundaries. Because I didn't understand that the boundaries were necessary at first. But if you are doing stuff that you should not be doing over there, and I'm not saying stuff you should not be doing. Okay, I need to rephrase that. If you are doing stuff for which you're going to be arrested, because maybe some of that shit you should be doing, because at some point, if you're not doing things that are at least supportive of the people who are doing things that are risking being arrested, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, I'm not doing things to get arrested, but I'm supporting the ones who will. But if you're over there fucking with them, or even just standing out front with a sign and, you know, standing in the driveway, which is as far as I will go because it's completely legal, you are, you know, taking certain risks. And, you know, they're going to come and get you. They're going to arrest you. You're going to be identified if you do that. But at the same time, the point is, if I go to OPB, like today, looking at any story related to Portland Ice, there is a picture of one young lady in a pink frog costume. The costume basically pulled up her leg hanging out of this costume, being dragged into the building. For what? You know, she was on the other side of the blue line. Big fucking deal. Was she doing anything? No. She was sitting, she was dancing, she was just there. Was she blocking any traffic? No. Was she blocking agents from doing their jobs? No. She was across the line. And that picture on OPB is that happened weeks ago. And that picture still comes up. People wonder, you know, what is the point of all of this? And, you know, we even heard from Mr. Toad, the frog, the original frog. At one point, he's like, I don't see the point of dressing up as a frog and being ridiculous anymore. But the point is, when they come out here and apply excessive force, because, I mean, like, when they arrested Lacey, they injured Lacey. When they arrest people for fucking dancing across the driveway. 40! Yay, TriMet! I don't even think I got away from that one. When they do that, it hurts them. It hurts them a hell of a lot more than it hurts us. And I'm sorry, because I know Lacey was injured from that, and you know she's still recovering from that injury. A problem with being an asthmatic with severe allergies. Bleh. It is April.
Have another taco!
The thing is, as much as that hurt her, it did a hell of a lot more to hurt.
I went on their website for you earlier.
Whose
And
website?
Operation Inflation.
Oh, cool.
And I
Joey?
had to change my approach and find their email address and copy and paste it to my email box. And I mentioned you expressed concern.
Well, I heard from Joey that they lost their cat. Their cat died.
Lost their what?
Their cat last week.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry.
So,
to hear that.
yeah.
That sucks.
That
A loved one. That's like a death in the family.
it really is. And I mean, that's on top of everything else that's been going on.
Shit, yeah. Tell me about it. All right, I just wanted to let you know I wrote them up now.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And my phone is telling me, you need to plug me in. So, let me do something about that real quick. Seriously? Well, oops. We will have to make this do.
I think I should just get arrested tonight and get it over with, don't you?
I mean, if you're sure it's going to happen.
I know it's going to happen because this is like the 7th violation. They told me last time. Can I put it in your card? I'll give you something for it later if you can throw it away from me later. 'Cause
What's
someone
that?
took our garbage can.
Oh. Hey, somebody dropped a power bill in my cart. And then there's like, this ended up in my cart. And I'm like,
It's a lighter.
that looks pepper spray.
Oh, maybe it might be.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks like a lighter too.
If you see Tom, can you wave him off this direction? I could use a piece of tape.
It might be blowing.
There are some that are like a horn, and
Well, this is bad because you don't want to have it. You don't want to be here at ICE and then like get caught with something like this. Well, you're safe because you don't. If
I don't cross the line. I don't cross their line. Yeah. That is not going to be enough. another bus. We have a 35. Yay, TriMet! So I somehow, I'm sorry I got quiet all of a sudden. I'm getting a notice from my phone saying, your battery is dying. And I'm like, oh, grab a battery out of the way. Where's my battery? I don't see it. And I could have sworn I put it in here, but I could also have sworn that I put, you know, that energy drink in here. And it seems that I did not. So, I'm looking for some solution to the fact I have Hey Tom, do you happen to have any like masking tape or that would be easier than playing with this.
I have cellophane tape.
That should work. Like shipping tape? That'd be awesome. So you know what I think I'm going to do with this thing? This thing has 2 1/4-inch stud mounts on the back. I think I'm going to get something that screws into that will give me a battery clip that I can just clip a battery right to the back of this thing. That'd be nice. So otherwise my plan was to de-string. I've got one of those mesh bag string backpacks, and I had gotten the string untied from it, and I was going to make some sort of a little harness out of the string from that, light cordage. You know, I had to replace this with proper paracord. That would just make that useful. Streetcar coming in. So anyway, sorry, I've got myself so distracted I almost need to start over with my thinking. I make it very clear where I film and where I won't, and the point of being willing to film the ice building is, first of all, if the chuds come out here, they're filming. They don't do that so much anymore, but if there's reason to, they will. And their videos will often be missing anything that makes them look bad, they will delete. Anything that makes us look bad, they'll keep. I'll record anything I see. And, somebody had the complaint, you're not filming everything that happened out there because I didn't film what was going on down at the base camp. well, A, I didn't know there was something going on down there at the base camp. Hello. Sorry. Didn't know there was something going on down there at the base camp. And the base camp was not the protest that was happening in front of the building. That was what I was filming. Right now, there's not much of a protest over there. There's one person. I can't tell who that is from here. And zooming in, they're out of frame.
Now make sure when you roll out and cut,
Yep.
fold the end over so you can
Yep,
fold
yep.
it together.
I have done that sort of thing many a times. I use bread tags for that.
Here. There you go.
Much thanks. Oh, that'll be perfect.
Yeah, don't lose the end. It's hard to get it back once you do it.
I know.
Thank you. Fold the end over. Perfect.
There you go.
Right on, bud.
Much thanks.
Appreciate
I just need to
careful handling.
attach a battery. Battery attached. There we go. All right. So, thanks, Tom. So, if you're doing something over there for which you're going to be arrested, you really want someone like me to film you doing it. Because if you're getting yourself arrested for something stupid, you want the evidence that what you did not justify what they did. You want that evidence. And honestly, that's why we want as many cameras out here as possible. And that's why the costumes work so well. Because what the fuck is somebody in a frog costume? Or a unicorn? Or an axolotl? Axolotls are adorable. What is anybody in one of those costumes doing that is so harmful to society that it justifies, that it could justify beating the shit out of them, dragging them into the building? Especially if you're complaining, oh, they trespassed on our driveway. They didn't actually block any cars or anything, but they trespassed on the driveway. So we took them into the building. What? That's moronic. And it makes them look bad. The next thing is people say, well, you know, that doing stuff like that doesn't help us. In fact, it you filming that and even us doing that sort of thing, doing stuff that gets arrested, that tactic isn't working. I've heard that argument. That tactic isn't accomplishing anything. Have you seen Donald Trump? Now, all of that ain't us, but literally it's everything. On his stupid immigration shit, and that he's gonna get rid of every single person who's brown in this country. The pushback. Oh my God, the pushback has been phenomenal. He's not getting away with that. And just neighborhood and after neighborhood getting together to stand up against that. He's a fucking coward. He's a bully and a coward. And when people stand up, he backs off. Oh, that's gonna hurt us. That's gonna hurt us. We can't do that. Yeah, that's hurting us too much. New tactic. Start a war. Start a war. That means we were effective. But then, of course, the war goes badly because he's a moron. And then the Epstein files come out, and then, you know, like, to protect herself, Melania's like, I had nothing to do. I do not know this Epstein person. I've never heard of him. I do not know his whatever you call her. I've never met this woman who calls me Sweet Pea. You've never met somebody who calls you Sweet Pea? What the fuck? And then, you know, another one of Trump's goons has this woman deported the mother of his child, basically to get around the whole custody battle thing. And then now she supports, she's like, first of all, I was a victim. And secondly, I've got dirt. And of course, Melania's trying to protect herself. She's trying to protect herself and her access to Donald's money. That is all that woman cares about. Do you remember that sign that she had on her jacket? She had this big coat. And on the back of it, she wrote, I don't really care, do you? Yeah, actually, we kind of care. Just a little bit. Maybe more than a little bit. We care. We care about this Epstein shit. We care about all of this. And the fact that you don't speaks volumes about you. But hey, if you don't care, and make no mistake, she does not care. That tells us all we really need to know about you. She doesn't care. Sorry, a little distracted because I'm undercaffeinated. I got off on Melania and whatnot, but Trump is flailing and failing. And the more he fails, the more he flails. So yes, what we're doing is working because we are continuing to put pressure on this guy who can't cope with pressure. Think about it. Donald Trump has had somebody there to bail his ass out his entire fucking life. Somebody has been there to do what needed to be done to make sure he had no consequences for anything he's ever done. Nothing has ever hurt him. Nothing has ever cost him. Not personally. He spent some money. He loses it. He loses 4 fucking casinos. Bankrupt. Whatever. He made good money pretending to be successful on a TV show. He pretended he was successful and people bought it. Hell, people elected him because his TV show made him sound like he was competent. Donald Trump was never competent. So yeah, the protests are working. Looking goofy works. That's why we should be doing it. And we should have cameras, as many as possible. Yes, it means I would have a harder time getting to 1,000 subs. If you're not subbed and you think what I'm doing out here is worthwhile, even though there's one person over there, please subscribe. Because when I get to 1,000 subs and enough watch time, my channel's more or less unlocked at this point. I can't monetize it, so, nobody's going to be sending me any super chats. I have another taco on Venmo and PayPal. I've got a Venmo link that goes straight to it, but I don't have a PayPal link up. I have a Ko-Fi, but I haven't actually set that up. I haven't finished setting that up yet. So that is the link I'll probably give you guys afterward. But if you want to help out, you can. And I'll get somebody here gave me $15 and I got $14.65 of it. If you give somebody a super chat and you gave them a $15 super chat, I guarantee you they're not getting $14 of it. So Venmo is actually a better way to do it. You need a Venmo account. I think you can give to PayPal with just a credit card directly, but, Venmo's what I've got. So if you'd like to help out and you've got that, please do. Otherwise, you know, Nate needs $30 a night to pay for like gas and expenses to come out here. I will start having a $55 a month to be out here, not a day. I won't need $30 a day to justify what I'm doing. It would be $55 a month to pay my mandatory expenses. Everything else is just like, you know, buying new camera gear. I spent, you know, $20 on this new mount so that the mount that holds my phone is a little more solid and stable and doesn't flop around so much and so easily. Also, it's a metal mount and it has room on it. You remember the other night it rained and it was obnoxious because the camera lens kept getting water on it? Yeah, I moved it around while I was looking for stuff, but I've got a new umbrella in here. Not you. I do have a new umbrella. Now the new umbrella has going for it. I did find it. First of all, it's bigger. So, if I zoom out, so you guys can see the whole thing. And instead of having a clippy mount, it has, if you can see it, that is a cold shoe mount, which means I just hold this thing out here and slide that in there. And now you cannot really see it, but I'll pull the camera off the mount in a moment so you can see what I've spent $40 on this month for the okay, you tighten that down a little more. We got an umbrella on a phone mount on the tripod, and I just slot you back in and tighten the knob, and you're now reattached to the tripod. And plugged back into the battery so you can charge. Not a bad setup. So if it starts raining, and it looks like it might, let me see if you guys can see those clouds coming in. See, they're now directly more overhead. Those aren't the ones that are necessarily going to open up on us, but if any do, we're a little more ready for it. There we go. Yeah, I like filming in horizontal. It's harder to do chat. So like I said, if somebody has a phone that, you know, no SIM needed, I will piggyback off my hotspot connection for it. So I can follow chat from a second phone. That would be really useful. It's what Nate is doing. I just don't have a... Every phone I have had has either been kind of dead or kind of traded in. I appreciate the use of fuck when it is used correctly, and since it can be used as every single part of speech. So, now I've explained a couple of times what it is I do. And there's some issues. And there's multiple groups out here. I mean, obviously, there's the people who are out here regularly, the protesters, people like, me, Tom, Operation Inflation, the guys who are out here regularly. You've got people like, I haven't seen Freya tonight, Joey, the people who are here a lot, maybe not every day, but a lot. And we want those guys to look bad in that building. We want them to look like horrible, disgusting people, because they're horrible, disgusting people. If they're going to act like it, that's what they are. And if that's what they are, they should be treated like it. Totally justified. There are some people who come out here, though, and they're like, we want a confrontation. We're pissed off. We kind of want to hit somebody. And, it seems like ICE is a good choice for somebody to hit. That doesn't work for what we're trying to do, which is get rid of Trump. Do you think, and I'm sure he's not there anymore, if he ever was. On Saturday, people were talking about Uncle Mike. Their Uncle Mike was picked up by ICE. And in fact, two uncles from the same family. Do you think that I don't want to go into that building? In fact, do you think I don't want to take a fucking army of us into that building, rip that gate down? Do you think I don't want to rip the whole building down? Do you think I don't want to grind the motherfuckers who are taking our families, our friends, our neighbors, hell, the guy we don't really know who lives down the block? Do you think I don't want to go into places like Dilley, tear that place down, find every fucking rapist, murderer, sexual abuser, son of a bitch, and do some really permanent shit to them that would probably result in them needing to be identifying the DNA of the hamburger to find out what happened to them? Do you think I wouldn't like to do that? I can't do that. And I can't do that more than most. I really can't. With my disabilities, I can't do it. Even if I were fully able-bodied, I couldn't do it. We couldn't do it with 100 people. We couldn't do it with 1,000 people. And if we tried, the National Guard would be sent out here, and then our neighbors, our brothers, our friends, our families who are part of the National Guard, or even the fucking military itself, will be sent to put down the rebellion. Because that's what we would be. That shit ain't gonna solve our problem. And I mean, people are saying, hey, I'm all for peace until peace doesn't work. I get you. I agree. But we haven't exhausted the peaceful remedies yet. I know it seems like we should have exhausted. Why the fuck are Republicans able to do this? Why the fuck are Republicans willing to do this? They've got to know Donald Trump is out of his fucking mind. He's a brain-rotted, fucking psychotic loser who just wants to avoid looking like he's as stupid and incompetent as he is, and to stay out of prison for raping children. and worse. Because at this point, I kind of think literally everything QAnon talked about, oh yeah, remember, I was a Republican. I read that shit. I didn't know if I believed all of it, but there was stuff. I'm like, you know, it seems like shit in here was written by somebody who was actually genuinely close to Donald Trump. And the reason why I think that is because there are pictures that were never released by the White House that were taken by the White House. White House photographers took these pictures and they never released them. So there was something in that QAnon bullshit that had to be true somewhere. Some of it, somehow, somewhere. Or at least, if not true, made up by somebody who had access. Now I got my suspicion who that someone is. I'll give you a hint. He's fatter than Donald Trump. And he worked as a publicist for Epstein. If you can figure out who that is, I think, at least for part of the time, he was Q. And what he posted as Q was bullshit in terms of these Democrats are doing, these Democrats are doing. But where did he come up with shit that wild to suggest Democrats were doing to children? Where did he come up with that? And by the way, pretty fucking sure that some Democrats were doing whatever was done to children. Some of what was said that Democrats were doing to children was done, possibly by Democrats. Sure would like the rest of the Epstein files and the ones we've got, you know, redacted the way they were required to be by law, so we would know who, so we could go after the motherfuckers. Hell yeah, I'm not going to defend any Democrat who is seriously implicated in actual crimes against children in the Epstein files. Not a single one. Same goes for the Republicans. But we all thought Donald Trump as Republican, we thought Donald Trump was going to be the hero that was going to unseal all of that and bring forward the truth. Except he won't, because it turns out the truth is he's a child fucker. And rapist. Not even sort of consensual. He goes after kids who say, no, please don't. He wants them because he wants to break them, because it makes him feel like he's not an impotent little fuck. He likes it. He's a sadist. Donald Trump is a disgusting human being. So how the fuck do Republicans support that, now knowing what he is? Because they knew back in like 2022 what he is. They certainly knew in 2024. And they certainly knew after 2024. They have access to classified info we don't get. They know more than we still do. They still have access to more information than we do. By a lot. And they can go see more than we are allowed to see. They know what he is. They don't care. Why the fuck don't they care? Why are Democrats not doing more? Well, they're talking about resistance and how they'll fight, except they're not actually fighting. Look at Mitch McConnell. Bitch McConnell. We hated him as a Republican. But Democrats have even more reason to hate him. Look to what he did. He'll show you how you gum up the works and make sure nothing gets through. Why don't you try doing some of that, Schumer, Jeffries? Why is it that a bunch of Democrats quietly approved of the Iran war? Oh, wait. IPAC money. Blood money from fucking Netanyahu. Let Donald Trump take the fall for going to war going to war on Israel's behalf, so that they can go, oh no, I was so opposed, and give me more money. If you took IPAC money in the past, you need to fucking stop. Because that is Netanyahu's blood money. It's not even Israel's, it's Netanyahu's blood money. I support the people of Israel. I support the country of Israel at its current borders. I do not support Okay, actually, I support Israel at the leave fucking Palestine alone borders. That I support. Oh, we need a buffer zone that we're going to keep expanding into. And then we need a buffer zone that we keep expanding into. And then we need a buffer... No, fuck that shit. I am told that is the definition of Zionism by people who are not Zionists. And they seem to be... The people who say they aren't... that they are Zionists seem to be okay with that. So I'm not sure I disagree. But fuck that shit. No more fucking choice wars. I don't know if Israel said we're going to leave, we're going to just back off, leave the Palestinians alone. We're going to two-state solution. We're getting the fuck out of there. We're leaving them alone. We're leaving Lebanon alone. We're leaving Iran alone. Saudi Arabia. We're leaving all these countries alone. We are us. We're going to do our thing, you do your thing, have fun. I don't know if that would actually even solve the problem at this point, because they have been so belligerent for so long. And they've pissed off literally everybody. I'd like to hope it would. But I'm tangenting all over the fucking place tonight. And I'm way too zoomed in on this. I think it's a 4. I don't know. I didn't wave at him. 35. Okay, so the next one will be a 40. Like I said before, I can't fix the Middle East. But what we're doing out here to protest Donald Trump and at least destabilize that leg of it, it's working. Because he needed all of this this white supremacist shit to secure power, but he got pushed back on that. Then he needed, to start a war to distract from that and the Epstein files. And now he's got wars that he wants to distract people from. What's he going to do? I don't know. Come out with the Epstein file? No. He's never going to do that. Never going to do that. What we're doing is working. So if some people are coming out here and they want a confrontation, they need to understand that's not going to help. There could be a point where that shit became necessary. You always have to accept that that possibility exists. And we thought so as Republicans. We're like, oh man, one of these days they're going to come and take the guns and that's going to be it. My guns are all at the bottom of the lake. Yep. You can search my house, you won't find them. They're all at the bottom of the lake. Well, they might be somewhere, but they're probably not at the bottom of the lake. And they'll do their best to make sure you don't find them. Then we'll fight that revolution and get rid of them Democrats and other people who just aren't Republican enough. I've heard that shit. Hell. As a preparedness guy, I used to say, one of these days we're going to have a fascist bastard try to take over the country. And I used to say, it's probably going to be a Democrat. But you got to accept it could be a Republican. It's a fucking Republican. And if I knew a little bit more about the world, I probably would have guessed it would have been a Republican from the beginning. Can't fix yesterday. Can't fix the Middle East, can't fix yesterday. So what can I do? I can come out here. I can record my friends, my comrades, my neighbors. I can record them coming out here and taking risks. Hell, I'm taking a risk sitting here. Because, yeah, there are people out here saying snitches need to get stitches. And all of the friendly streamers are actually not friendly, and we need to make sure we shut them up so we can go out there and bust some heads. If you get rid of us, The only streams that are going to be out here, the chuds will come back out here. Yes, they'll fight you. Their streams will go up. And, you know, if you threw the first punch, they'll be happy to stream that. And if you didn't throw the first punch, they'll be happy to turn the camera away, throw that punch at you, and then turn the camera just in time to see you throw one back. They've done it before. So then you had some people on Saturday attacking Sandy. Fucking Sandy, of all people. And I didn't even know that was actually, I didn't know that was Sandy. I've talked to Sandy several times. Sandy seemed like a very nice, level-headed person. They attacked Sandy because she was advocating not doing shit that they wanted to do? What the actual fuck? The enemy is in that building right there. That building right there. The enemy is in there. The enemy is not out here opposed to the people in there. If you want to attack people out here, get your fucking head screwed on straight. Because the people who come out here to oppose Trump and ICE and the fucking Iranian war and the fucking Venezuela war and the fucking Cuba war he wants and the fucking Canada war he wants and the fucking Denmark war he wants, the capture of Greenland, all the fucking wars that this motherfucker piece of shit wants. If you're out here saying, no way, no how, this is not happening, we're not allowing our country to be that. And we can't necessarily do much to stop it, but we can put pressure on the psychotic, brain-rotting motherfucker who's giving all the orders. And we can make sure that when it comes time to elect new people, that the ones who support and defend Donald Trump are literally thrown out of their offices. And I mean, we can't do that physically, or at least we shouldn't be doing that physically yet. God, I hope it never comes to that. I really hope it never comes to that. We have the opportunity in 2026 to flip the House. We have the opportunity in 2026 this year to flip the Senate. That has never happened. That there are this many people this pissed. Our country is full of states that 80% of the election is decided before a single vote has been cast. Oregon votes don't matter because Oregon is going to vote Democrat. Alabama votes don't matter because Alabama's going to vote Republican. 2026, so many states are ready to flip blue all at once.
You gonna do live streaming right now?
Yeah.
What's your name?
I'm Joseph, and my channel's Have Another Taco.
Oh, right on.
Can I film the puppy time?
I thought it was something
Oh,
else.
he smells the sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
He smells a sandwich. He does. Puppy time.
Have fun.
Can I film the dog for a second?
What's that?
Oh, they love the dogs.
There you go. You can film the dog.
Say hi to that puppy. I'm so far behind in chat.
Say hi, buddy.
Hey.
He's going to give you a kiss. There you go.
Oh, he still wants a sandwich.
Yeah, well, sandwiches, but mostly pizza. He loves.
Yeah, well, there's some pepperoni in there.
All right, dude. Later.
Thanks for stopping by.
By the way,
Yeah?
I'm actually off the train.
You know, there are a lot. I was too. I'm not anymore because of Trump.
Well,
January
I
6th.
actually love Trump, but I just wanted to say that I don't care that you are not.
Well, you have a good night. I hope I I hope you find that the guy's lost his mind as far as I'm concerned.
All right, man. You guys have
Take care. You know, I genuinely wish these guys well. I want better lives for them. They're not going to get it from Trump. They're not going to get it from Trump. But at least they're human beings. They're human beings. I hope he realizes that, you know, Trump has screwed him. I genuinely do. And I mean, the guys who come out here and they're ready to mace everybody and starting fights. Huh?
We're all dealing with
What's that? I can't see your phone. I'm legally blind.
Yeah, I go from mini go. Arnold?
No, sorry.
Okay.
I genuinely wish for the best for people on the right to, and I mean, I genuinely think the best thing for them is to realize, holy shit, Donald Trump has sold us a bill of goods. And if they realize that, if they come to that realization, they'll start realizing they've been lied to. And the propaganda is so thick over there. You guys have no idea how bad the propaganda is. The propaganda is so thick. It is so bad. I am not surprised that somebody on the right still believes Donald Trump is amazing. He's not. My God, he's not. And if they ever see through it, if they ever understand he's lost his mind, if they understand that people are lying to him that he's lost his mind, and then they start to realize, wait a minute, he didn't actually intend these things for them before he lost his mind. And then they realize, wait a minute, these people have been lying to us this whole time. The pundits, the media, the right-wing media, the politicians, the party, when they start realizing they've been lied to, then they start wondering, what else are they lying to me about? What else are they lying to me about? And when you realize what else they're lying about, that's when people leave the Republican Party. You can ask me how I know, but you guys here don't need to. You already know. You know the reason why. I know that's what it takes to leave the Republican Party is because I've been there. I did that. January 6th was me going, never Donald Trump, never again. And then seeing the Republican Party just fall over themselves to give this evil motherfucker everything he wants as he's rapidly losing his mind. And then you start to wonder, wait a minute, why are they doing it? Why are they lying about this man's mental and physical capacity? Why are they doing this? And what else are they lying about? That led me to people like, you know, I'm a nerd. That led me to like Heather Cox Richardson, who, you know, if you don't follow me regularly, that woman's got receipts, academic receipts. She knows that this started all in 1980, and she's got the documentation to prove it. It started with Ronald Reagan. And Ronald Reagan was, you know, recycling a plan from the 60s, recycling a plan, ultimately going back to the business plot of 1933, where Republicans and a few Democrats decided, you know, the American people are idiots. And based on the fact that they really elected Donald Trump, I would agree with that sentiment, but Their argument is that the American people are idiots. Can't be trusted with government. So we need to have, the nice word is unitary executive. The real word is dictator. We need a fascist dictator to run the government through a system of oligarchs. People with power, money, and privilege. I ain't sold on, the idea of communism, but I know a lot of European socialists, and they're doing pretty damn well. Yes, they pay more in taxes, but they don't pay for their health care. We pay more in health care than they pay in taxes. And they get better health care than we do. Why? I know a lot of European socialists, and they're doing okay for themselves. They're pretty happy. They're happy. Like in Finland, I know some Finns. In Finland, if you are speeding, you get a speeding ticket, right? What if you were the CEO of Nokia in the early 2000s, before the iPhone pretty much destroyed Nokia as a company? What happens then if you get a speeding ticket? He got a speeding ticket for the equivalent to like $2 million. Why was his speeding ticket $2 million? It factored in his income. His actual income. And his ability to pay. The fine was appropriate for someone of his means. Because otherwise, in the United States, you give a $200 ticket to a billionaire, they're like, whatever. I'm more annoyed by the fact that I have to take the time to ask my people to pay it.
Depressing.
Huh? Hey?
Depressing.
Well, I was just talking about how the lack of people over there. You headed over there?
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
After I chat with you for a little bit.
I was just talking about how, I know some Finns, and they pay more in taxes. But they pay more in taxes. They pay more in taxes, but they pay less. They pay nothing for their medical. We pay more for our medical than they pay in taxes, and their medical's free.
I believe it.
But then I also talked about how, like in the early 2000s, the CEO of Nokia got a speeding ticket for a couple $1 million. Was he going that fast? No. In Finland, they'll factor in your wealth.
Fuck yes.
So if you get a speeding ticket in the U.S., it's a couple $100, and it's more of an annoyance to just tell somebody to write the check. In Finland, it's going to hurt you if you've got money, because they're going to take the fact that you've got money into account. So that's how it should be.
I'm all for that.
Yeah. Little more equality would be nice.
Yep.
Because equality doesn't always mean the same thing.
Yep.
Sometimes it means proportional. And yeah, it kind of should mean that for taxes, at least reasonably. Because I don't know how you spend $1 billion. If you've got $1 billion, I don't know how you spend that.
I could try. If someone wants to give me $1 billion, I'll try. Real fucking hard.
If I had $1 million, I would not spend it well. I would spend it better than I would have spent it 20 years ago. But I already know that without some financial counseling, somebody who knows how to use money well, telling me what to do and what not to do with it, not somebody who wants to spend my money, but somebody who wants to teach me the skills so that I can spend my money better.
Money manager.
Yeah. Well, an educator, a teacher.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Somebody who, understands things like setting up a trust fund, giving myself a stipend. I know those basic things. But, there's not any chance I'm going to be handed that kind of cash.
Yeah, right.
So.
Yeah.
But people in the poverty class, I'm in the poverty class, don't know how to use money.
I technically just got out of poverty.
Woohoo!
A few months ago. Yeah. I'm like $37 over the poverty line here.
Nice.
You're above the poverty line?
Yeah.
Not me.
I make a $14.23.
Wow.
That's.
Yep.
I'm getting about $9.90 or so for my disability.
That's what my personal training
Oh yeah.
VA.
Oh yeah.
Katie gets about that. I don't. I get
I get watch
substantially
job
less.
disability benefits.
Oh, nice.
You
See,
know, nut job.
I've actually like applied for SSDI 5 times, 6 times, but denied every single one of them. Now,
Because obviously you're not disabled even a little bit.
Well, most of them is because I moved or something, or fucking COVID was the last time that happened. They literally told me to bring down.
Hang on, guys.
To the office.
If you don't know who I'm talking to over here,
The office is closed. There's no one there. How am I supposed to hand over physical doctors? It's not gonna happen.
this person here is not disabled even a little bit.
Oh hi. Yeah, I'm not disabled at all. Let me introduce you to my 11 others.
Sorry, I was kind of doing all kinds of funny shit with the camera because I didn't. Because you were talking, and I didn't ask to show your face on the camera before I pointed the camera your way. Yeah, I know you didn't, but
Oh, wait.
my policy is over here. I ask
In
first.
one personality, are you aware of the others, or can you like have conversations, or?
If they want to, yeah.
I have some imaginary friends, but I have to work with them.
The best way I can explain it is like, say like my mind is like.
I'm talking to my imaginary friends right here.
Nice, dude.
Good
Nice.
job.
Yeah.
And I got 68 likes, and I got like 100 people watching, so 40 of you should click the like button. Maybe the subscribe button if you appreciate me coming out here and ranting on quiet days.
One of those books,
Fuck ice!
each one of those books is a memory. Now each one of our each one of our each one of the personalities has.
They didn't move the benches. I bring my own chairs out here. I bring
Library, where we can keep our individual memories in. And
I bring
for example, I can
this wagon here, which has a couple of chairs. The other chair is did it fall out of the wagon? Or did I set it up? I think my other chair has been borrowed. Oh, no, it's right there. It did fall out of the wagon. I bring out a couple of chairs, which have been labeled, duly labeled. Please return to the taco truck. Yes, I literally did label my chairs that way.
Changed out your label. The other one just says Joseph.
Yeah, because not everybody knows who Joseph is.
Oh yeah.
Everybody knows who Taco is.
I made sure to get your chair back to you.
You did, and I really appreciated it.
You popped up on my YouTube stream today.
Did I?
Yep.
I've been a regular
That's
lost
cool.
and found. My back of my truck has been a lost and found.
That's good. To
It
know.
has.
That's good to know.
Right now there's a tripod, a telescopic tripod in there, and you haven't found one today.
It was me. Just check my phone.
Yeah.
I've actually got one.
I bumped the clip on yesterday.
This one's a piece of shit and it doesn't really work most of the time.
I changed my handlebars. They were chrome and now they're black and they're much taller and very much more comfortable. Very efficient.
There we go. Yeah, sort of.
Better body position.
There.
Better efficiency.
Sorry, I bumped my tripod a bit, and now I'm all crooked.
Huh?
My legs are all uneven. There we go.
I altered it quite a bit. And then there's a dumbass.
So I was ranting.
Who chewed me out because he likes the guy Jesse James West Coast Trapper. Jesse James West Coast Trapper is a fucking Nazi, and he said, "Tom, your bike isn't original. It's more valuable original." And I go, "Fuck you. He's a Nazi. I got it cheap because the guy is unpopular and a Nazi, and I freaking scrubbed all the iron crosses off it and put on gummy stickers.
Hey.
Fuck you very much. It's my bike. I can do anything I want to it.
Exactly.
So I need to call him and say, it's even less original than it was when you chewed me out, because I'm changing handlebars.
What is it with like Discovery Channel and hiring like they for their reality shows, they hire a fucking Nazi to do bikes, and then they hire a fucking child rapist to do guns and.
Oh yeah, well don't forget, Elon Musk did custom gun work for this guy Jesse James West. Hey, thank you, TriMat.
Yay, TriMat!
Jesse.
We love our buses.
Trappers did custom gun work.
40.
So yeah, they're all really fucking.
Oh, they had that redneck gun company run by the it was like in Louisiana or some shit, and they had this like family patriarch who's like, you know, doing redneck shit with AKs, because if they actually did anything with an AR, their skills aren't up to the task. So they're doing weird ass shit, you know, rednecking the hell out of it, like combining power tools and AK rifles. It'd be a hell of a gun, ain't never been done before.
I put a dildo on a drill and a reciprocating saw for an ex-girlfriend of mine.
Nice.
She was really happy.
More info than I needed.
But she turned out to be a murderer.
Holy
She
shit.
beat one of her previous boyfriends with a hammer to death, and when the hearing took place, she told me, and I quote, "I didn't have to know whether I killed him or not, and I only had to spend a few months in orange coverings." And so she implied she knew he got killed. She beat him in the head with a hammer, but she feigned, "Oh, I'm so glad I didn't have to know." Oh, fuck. I'm so lucky I got out of that relationship with my life and my whole...
Tom learned the lesson, you do not fuck crazy.
Sounds like my second ex-wife. I moved from Kentucky to Arizona to California to Utah
To get away from it?
The sort of conversations you overhear
I've got a restraining order against
come by the ice building.
I've got a cousin whose parents fled from the west coast to the east coast to get away from it. And he's still around. Thank God.
Shit like this is likely to get more likes than me ranting about Donald Trump.
Are we?
Oh, we're up to 71!
Is the audio going on to that?
Oh, yeah.
My cousin's name that drove his parents away is Jeff Darden.
Oh, shit. Don't go doxing people. Certainly don't go doxing family.
Oh, a rat. A rat just came from across the street.
Oh, shit. Okay, how far back am I in chat at this point? Pretty damn far.
Yeah,
Anyway, yeah. I might have to get a anti-harassment order against the neighbor of mine. Because I do volunteer mowing in my neighborhood to beautify, keep clean, right?
And another bus. 35.
Thank you, TriMat.
We love our buses.
actually, no, we love our drivers. We don't really love our buses.
The buses are okay.
There's also a neighbor of mine, Doug. I wish I could remember his last name. The cop told me his last name.
He lives in my building. I know exactly who that is.
So what was it? My neighbor is telling me he's going to put boulders on property he has no authority to alter to keep me from mowing. Well, thing is, I already called the police about him threatening me, and the cops told me that I should get an anti-harassment order.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely do that.
Well, you should always do that. If you need one, you need one.
Well, and he lives like 300 feet from me, or less. And he has he came to my driveway one day and said he was going to get me in trouble for my messy backyard. And I said, you're telling me you trespassed so you could look at my backyard? Look over the fence? And he said, haven't you heard of drones? So then I got him for illegal overflight. But he didn't just overfly. He took his drone clear down to the deck and he blew over my rain gauge in my backyard. With his drone. So I had the police go tell him about that. That was like 4 or 5 years ago. He's a real piece of work. His wife left him. I sure understand.
What's that?
I don't know. He's a dick. All the, half of the neighbors realize he's a dick. Oh!
You know, a lot of them drones aren't really that waterproof. Just saying.
Another.
I know.
I had some black neighbors whose children walked past this place, and he sent his big scary dog up to harass the children, and he yelled at the children, "Well, then stay the fuck off the street."
Yeah,
he's a
fuck
racist.
this guy.
Yeah, he's bad.
If you ever need any help, like looking up cameras or anything, you know how to do it. He's actually really good at it. So.
Well, he's got a freaking little backward tractor. He could easily successfully.
Yep, Stuart Rhodes, the head of the Oath Keepers, was also the architect of January 6th,
Where I mow.
the attempt to overthrow the U.S. Constitution. That was
In fact, they appreciate it.
Yeah, because that's worth it there.
that. I'm so glad that I stopped having any association with Oath Keepers.
Literally
Years,
thousands of neighbors
literal years.
really
I was never a
appreciate
member,
it, because, last
but I was kind of aligned. At least I thought I was. I was aligned with what I thought they wanted to do, which was to say, we won't follow illegal orders. Okay, I'm down with not following illegal orders. Donald Trump is apparently not down with won't follow illegal orders. So I don't know how that
Nice to see you.
I don't know how that meshes with Trump and Oath Keepers, since the whole point of Oath Keepers is we won't follow illegal orders, supposedly. Except, the illegal order to overthrow the Constitution. The fuck?
If you're gonna fuck up big.
I suppose. He got his pardon. Except, if Donald Trump has been operating illegally this entire time, maybe his pardons are not legal either. The Constitution says they're pretty... But no, at this point, let's pack the court. He did.
Well, okay. What I don't understand is he keeps saying that he won the 2020 election. Okay, fine. Go ahead and give him that. He was president in 2020 election. He didn't do anything, but he's still president. So he's not president now because that would be 3 terms. He can't be. So just agree with them.
Except they said they had a legal case and they took it to the courts, and the court said, no, you don't. You don't have the evidence. I really should just list my community. I don't have any community guidelines set. I should list one. Don't piss off my mods.
I was gonna say, do you have any moderators?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you've ever watched Pretend Media stream,
Yeah.
Chris, also known as Bat Guano, and Kate are my moderators.
I mean, I haven't watched it that much. I just put it on.
Nate's got a pretty good chat going, and so do I.
I usually minimize the chat when I'm when I'm watching my live stream here because I'm usually watching it on my phone, so I just put the video on full screen.
Well, people have been saying they prefer when I'm horizontal. The thing is, when you're horizontal, you can usually manage to scroll chat, but often you can't interact with it, so it's harder to moderate your own chat, and it keeps disappearing really quickly. Yeah. And it often thinks you're trying to do the refocus thing when you're trying to tap on a message.
Yeah.
See, that time it worked, but it usually doesn't.
I wonder if if you had a like a second display, if
That's the thing. What Nate is doing is a second display now, and
Yeah.
I'd still like to talk to somebody. You could do it. Jordy could do it. I mean, basically somebody, because I really want to get my computer at home, which runs Linux, like to set up a Docker container, because I want to containerize this for everybody to use it.
okay.
Docker container set up with an OBS. The program, I think I sent you a link to it, that will let you use like a GoPro stream, but also being able to stream from Android or iOS. So stream whatever you've got that's reasonable. Take it, get it into OBS, and transmit it so that you can, do like the pocket router. If you can still find one. You can make one out of a Raspberry Pi if you need to, with a couple of USB Wi-Fi. It won't be fast, but it'll do the job. Do it off your phone so it looks like a phone data, or modify a hotspot if you're down here specifically, like what Nate's got. I've got one too. Doesn't have a SIM yet because the head of our family plan spent the last month in Palm Springs, where it was too hot. Left here because it was too cold and too hot in Palm Springs. It's like you should have picked somewhere in the middle, like the Northern California. Go check out the redwoods; they're awesome.
I was gonna say, like,
And they may not be there much longer.
I was gonna say like Oklahoma.
Oh, I wouldn't send them to Oklahoma. Good God. They're Democrats. They wouldn't survive in
Oh,
Oklahoma.
no, I'm just saying it's in the middle.
No, I meant somewhere between here and Palm Springs, like, Northern California. But anyway, I would really like just a kit that people just unroll what they need, and maybe another one at the other end for people who are dealing with hotspots to do the IMEI number change, and just like for me to have two devices going, but for other people to have whatever they need, a camera in their phone or whatever, so that it streams from here. So it's recording here. If you got a camera, you're recording locally. You're recording at home, and you're streaming to. You could stream to Twitch and YouTube and Facebook and all of it at the same time if you've got the bandwidth for it. Yeah, I've got one of those. Not a yellow one. I got a blue one with antennas.
Mine doesn't have antennas.
All right, we're doing okay on the battery. So Heather here has
Not me anymore. No.
routers. These are useful. If you want to do hacky sort of stuff, you might want to pick up some of these things. These are made by GLINet.
Yep.
They're not very expensive. It's old Wi-Fi, but it has the advantage of being like still relatively cheap. They're going to get more expensive because some dumbass decided to ban routers.
I wonder who that was.
I can do this. I'm going to dress my ear.
But
cable there, so it's got
the Docker kit for the server to stream stuff out, and do it with Docker, because that way you can have an OBS that is stable in the Docker container. So many people say, "Oh, OBS wasn't stable for me under Windows."
And if they fuck it up, you can just just erase the
If you
entire
fuck it up,
document, just
blow the
delete it.
container away, get a new one, and put in your credentials.
Yep,
But
exactly.
what I want is specifically, if somebody walks, in front of me, like, that first white line out there, that close, that their face would be blurred. But
That's
I'm sure that there's probably an AI plugin for that nowadays.
yeah, that gets into AI and object detection, and you'd have to have like a
Some GPU.
or at least a Coral.
At this point, I know there's stuff that'll run on, AMD or NVIDIA or even Intel. You need some GPU for that because something's got to be. You need some compute.
Well, I mean that's like for example, if you had like a Raspberry Pi 5 with a Coral,
That'll do it.
that would do it. Yeah, I mean it wouldn't be the fastest, but it would do it.
Because all you need, your local copy is just recording. The copy on your computer at home is just recording. What is streamed out to YouTube and Twitch and whatever. TikTok if you're desperate.
I might need help there. Get back up.
Okay, we'll help. I'll help. Someone will help.
I'll be alright. Whistles.
Yep.
People don't like when I blow my whistle. Our people don't like when I blow my whistle.
They can suck it.
Well, they came out and I was blowing my whistle and I was across the street and they're like, would you stop with the whistle?
No.
I did because they were asking. But the whistle, I have one, one of these things. I've wrapped some, I put some heat shrink over it so it doesn't clatter. I got one of these things. 120 decibels. It's fucking loud.
Nice.
They come out and I start blowing on this.
Oh jeez, I should have put my other glove under my left knee.
You need some help?
Let me know if you need a hand up. I'm one of those people that hates key clatter, so I use one of these things. My keys are all in there, but you can't really, they don't clatter because they're, the thing is I have to actually use a screwdriver to change my keys. Well, this I think I probably could use a quarter.
Way more slack on my shoulder. What's that noise?
Air compressor.
Oh, the little auto shop.
Yep.
Oh, I noticed that our SUV that was parked over there moved. I was pretty sure it was not the Federales in there.
The emergency flasher, dark little compact. They were a food delivery.
It was parked on the gravel over there.
Oh yeah, that.
They pulled up, or they were there before you pulled up, and then shortly after you pulled up and parked, I think they pulled away. I was pretty sure it was somebody affiliated with the shop over there.
Yeah. I told them they do a good job.
It's technically their space, so we can't complain about them using it. I, did kind of point my camera at the license plate in case it was feds, but it wasn't, so no worries. Much thanks for the tape. This will keep my battery here. This little I normally bring a much bigger battery, but I left it. The energy drink I was going to have because I've had 3 hours sleep, and a nice cold Coke. Although this one's quite cold by now. It's kind of chilly out here. It's getting to inside the refrigerator temperatures out here, so.
Yeah.
If I had a complaint that this one was not a cold one, it is now. Which, of course, since I've been yapping more than eating, means the sandwich is also cold. I'm used to that.
Well, that's it. I got a lot more slack on my shoulder.
Is that a good thing?
Yes.
Yes, I'm staring at you.
First something.
So then I'm like ranting.
You ranting?
Yeah, me. A guy comes by with a dog, and I filmed him pet the dog, and he says he's right wing and he loves Trump.
So,
It's like, well,
anybody need anything to drink? You were saying you got cold Coke.
I got
water, water and water.
I got a couple drinks on my lap. Okay, I'm good, thank you.
and I said I hoped he, came to realize that Trump was screwing him over, and wished him a good evening, because I genuinely don't want the people who the propaganda on the right is so thick. I know better than most.
They're just plain morons.
Well,
And they take like Fox News and Tucker Carlson as facts. That's the problem. Right there.
well, and Fox News literally shows them faked video.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I've seen the video that is like the real, and then I've seen the fake video, and I know it's fake because some of it that they faked has been Portland. Fuck ice!
That was that red-headed guy that was preening in front of his camera over there.
No, on Monday there's usually not many people out here, so I'm usually talking to the stream about whatever's going on. And we had some.
Said Tom just dressed his brake cable better. Go ahead, repeat it.
Tom fixed his brake cable.
Amen. Thank you. No, I feel.
But no, Sandy got attacked out here Saturday.
Saturday was great.
Well, until Sandy got attacked.
Oh, that. Yeah.
Now I was over there.
Let's not forget that Chad got a head injury.
That was after I left. That happened after I left.
Fuck, it was horrifying.
Was that the day the bunny got?
Doghead. That's Sandy.
Sandy,
Bunny.
Skylar.
Bunny on Saturday was like making Thai iced teas over there.
What day was it? The bunny had to be taken to the hospital.
Oh, I don't know about
It was the
that.
10th. It was the
To the
10th.
hospital?
It was the 10th.
That night happened.
Oh, a rat. I love them rats.
Oh,
was the
I think I hear it.
March 10th.
I didn't know that about that.
I have footage.
Oh,
It's not
shit,
very
it's
good
on.
footage, but I have footage.
God damn. Well, and then
But I mean, people are saying you don't film what's actually going on out here. It's like
Saturday, what about the
Sandy getting attacked happened like over here somewhere, and I was filming, the driveway down there because I'm here to film the protest, not like some street fight. And like Nico got attacked, and like, Saturday shit happened Saturday.
Yeah, well,
Sometimes it's the same thing.
Chad was completely innocent,
Chad,
and they came in a car, and they accidentally bowled him over. So they figured, what the fuck, we might as well detain him. Oh, look, a bunny rat.
they had to take him to the hospital,
Yeah, right.
and they arrested him for existing.
Fictional charges. Just
Yeah,
like
they
for
are
standing on the
not.
sidewalk when they actually crashed over him.
They are not gonna. There's footage. Those charges are not gonna stick.
Yeah, well,
Just
I'll
like
tell
most
you,
of them.
it was horrifying. I witnessed him getting crashed. I thought he was somebody else, though. I mean,
Yeah, that happened after I went home. Unfortunately, I wish I had gotten that. I mean, it's horrifying that it happens. He's such a nice guy,
he is.
and I mean,
He and Sandy helped me when I got pepper sprayed in the eye.
yeah.
They did a nice job.
And they attacked Sandy. There's been talk about all kinds of shit related to Nathan because they're trying to get rid of Nathan. And I mean, I already know what they're going to say about
We're
me.
not
In fact,
on the
I've already
sidewalk
heard some of
here.
it. That I'm actually still secretly MAGA, and I supported Trump, and I still do because I say that I didn't know, but everybody knew. No, I really fucking didn't know that Trump was a fucking child rapist. Actually, I abandoned Trump before I knew he was a child rapist. I abandoned Trump when I thought he was still the guy who was going to release the Epstein files and tell us who those were. I couldn't support the guy because he tried to overthrow the fucking Constitution. But genuinely thought he was going to be the guy who was going to put an end to that.
I just dressed my brake cable better and my little bell.
Gotta have the bell.
There is there is a car that drives by, and it scared the shit out of Nate. It's got like this big. It doesn't have a normal horn. It has a big air horn.
Oh yeah, that was a pickup truck.
Yeah, pickup truck.
I believe it was Saturday.
Or like an SUV or something.
It was a big black thing.
Yeah, big black thing.
It was loud. You could hear him from 5 blocks away.
I have heard it from 5 blocks away. I live closer to there than I do to here. So, and I'm not afraid to say that because literally the Republicans know exactly where I live. But they also know what rallies they took me to. So,
I'm gonna go back up the line.
coming through my front door is not a recommended idea unless I've invited you. Because Democrats support the Second Amendment too. Not some of them, unfortunately. Not a lot of the ones we've elected. But common people do. Because, yeah. People are fucking crazy out there. And that doesn't even count for all of the Republicans. They're just people. You call the cops to report man with a gun and it takes them 85 minutes to respond. The chicken shits must be back in the building. It's got all the lights on. So Chad and Sandy, Bunny, and then you've got people going after Nate. They will be coming after me. And then you've got, you notice that Operation Inflation isn't here because Jordy and Lacey, their cat died. On top of everything else that's going on, their cat died. Holy fuck. As if they aren't dealing with enough shit. I'm like sending messages to Wendy saying, hey, are they all right? I haven't heard from them in a while. Actually, I haven't heard from her in a while.
Who?
Wendy. Unicorn. Shit's getting dicey out here. Last month, somebody walked away with my respirator. So I haven't had one. I borrowed one for No King's Day, but it turns out it wasn't needed. But it was one that didn't have a diaphragm, so, you know, if I had needed it, I wouldn't be able to be much use to other people.
I mean, even without like having a diaphragm, I mean, you can
You
still
can shout.
Yeah, I mean, if you need to, do what you need to do. I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, my point was to be able to, like, tell people, take my shoulder, take my elbow, we're moving.
yeah.
Because I can do that. And I wouldn't have been able to do that day. Didn't need to, it turns out. But I'm going to need to replace that. Jordy said that he thought that, some were left behind, like somebody lost them and was returning them to him so that they would be, but it turns out the one that was there wasn't mine and wasn't going to fit. It's like, well, should be mine now. So it didn't have a diaphragm, and it's not quite the right shape to fit me. I would need a larger size. It was a 3M. And they have different sizes for different shapes of faces. This was a medium, I would need a large. Whereas the parcels are just a little bit more universal shape. He had one that, did have a diaphragm, but he's like, this one's a bit nicer, and I think I know who it belongs to, so I'm going to hold on to it. And then Bowie said, I've got one for you. But he hasn't brought it to me, so... my assumption is I'm going to need to buy a replacement.
Yep.
And apparently Katie's military ID isn't quite sufficient to get the discount. So I would need, like, proof of service. So I might need some help with that.
Gotcha. Because I've already verified, so...
I don't have an extra 140 this month. Well, I guess it would be about 100 with the discount. I tried out this fishing vest. It doesn't quite work for me because same reason why this isn't all that great for me while walking. It has my arm out too much for my cane. Not good for my shoulder.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty much going to have to look into... Probably the best setup for me for carrying gear would be basically a battle belt with suspenders. And just because of my shape, I need the suspenders, because otherwise the battle belt is just going to slip right off of me. I used to have more weight underneath my waistline, and I don't anymore. I've lost it. Which you couldn't tell by me stepping on the scale, but... I'll have to do it next month.
I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be ordering more filters next month. So
From Parcel?
yeah. So
With a discount, the ordering from Parcel is a good price.
Yeah, it is. So, I mean,
Especially if you're getting the PA03. PA03? Something like that. I've memorized the part number for the 3M filters.
Oh, for the. I was like, because the mask that I got was the STX or.
Oh yeah, one of the One of the central filter.
Yeah.
I don't have a spare device, but the one that I was looking at is one of the ones that takes the bayonet filters, just because I've got tons of them. Yeah, I'd have more than 6 months of them if I, were using them constantly. I don't have them to, throw away, or to have somebody walk away with one of my mask with the filters, which were about the point I needed to replace them. But a whole second set of filters. Damn it! Had spares in the bag. And it was that, the nice gray bag with the tear open. That thing is like a $30 bag. So they basically got away with approximately, at retail price, figuring about $200 worth of, damn it. And I feel bad because I couldn't really afford it, but I at least hope it went to one of ours and not to one of the chuds who's just going to toss it in a dumpster.
Yeah.
Who took it? I don't know. Could have been anybody. This table fucking sucks. It's getting replaced. The legs, you have to unscrew the legs and stick them on these things. And then you have to, when you unfold it, you screw on the legs, and then you put it down, and it's guaranteed to be wobbly because two of the legs are too long or too short or whatever, and then you have to back them off so that the thing is still wobbly, but a little more. Basically, the plastic folding tables. Jordy and Lacey have a couple of the 4-foot tables. They're better. The plastic ones, they weigh about 14 pounds, I think. So it's still wagonable. But they aren't gonna... The thing I gotta be careful of is I was walking around with the tripod, just fold the legs in and walk around with it a bit. And I was holding out in my left hand. My shoulder says no. I really screwed up my shoulder.
You should get a
PT. Getting PT.
a lanyard and hook it onto the the center of the tripod. That way, if it drops, it's not going to drop all the way. At least the lanyard will stop it. But...
Well, the thing was, I was walking with it, and I was holding it out like this, but in my left hand, as I was walking, just close the legs up like this. So it's not really a monopod, but so I could walk around, go over to the front line, but I was dragging a chair, which weighs almost nothing, and then holding the tripod out, not at my side, like it was the chair. Basically, I was using the wrong hand for the wrong item. And I realized it was a mistake in the middle of the street. Another police officer.
What I was saying was, if you had a lanyard that went around your neck and was attached to the tripod, that way, if you drop it, wouldn't drop, your camera wouldn't hit the ground or anything.
Yeah.
At least stop it soon.
Well, what I'm realizing is I've gotten good enough at just holding the thing that if I want to go somewhere, what I really should do is not mess with that knob. Just take the... I got a phone clip that's actually an Arco-Swiss plate. So I can actually just walk around with it, and at this point I'm good enough with just holding it steady.
Yeah.
I wasn't, but I am now.
No, I'm totally not.
No, I wasn't pointing it at you. I don't point at people until I ask over here. That's just my policy. Some people don't care. Some people do.
I mean, most of the time I don't care, but it's just...
I go out of my way not to... that's the thing. If you're over there or you're over there, I assume you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
If you're over here, I assume there's a chance you might be eating, changing into costume. Something to do that. Except it's kind of chilly. Although it might not be so chilly if I did.
I was gonna say what, eat or change into a costume?
Well, that's my problem. If you didn't fall out, maybe it fell out. Lamp made me a purple scarf for the dog.
Are you packing it in, Joseph?
No, I was
Just rearranging?
I was actually debating whether or not I was gonna go and be a frog and go over there and see if I can cause some trouble.
Peacefully protest?
Peacefully
Exercise your
protest.
First Amendment right?
Well, I can tell you, I was just honored with a formal introduction to our other bicyclist friend over there.
Oh,
Who is that?
Unnamed person that just left.
Okay. I was gonna say, I don't see another.
Well,
are we
they
talking
just
about your imaginary friends again?
No,
Because-
just before they left,
Okay.
they said, we haven't been formally introduced, and gave me their name, and I told them, and so I wrote it down so I remember,
I'd still forget.
and I'll wash it off.
I'm about to make myself
I was
very
gonna say.
cold to make myself a bit warmer.
Oh, and my redressing my rear brake cable was very successful.
Good, good.
Excellent.
It feels good too.
See, it's getting cold enough out here. I need to change into something.
Hey, you know, I want you to know that I usually have another layer in my truck
Yeah.
that you could borrow at any time.
Oh, I bring my layers. I just need to get into them.
Oh yeah, just yeah.
Because this sweatshirt is warmer than that jacket is, unless it's windy.
Oh yeah, it's good to have room under your layers to add a.
Theoretically, the jacket actually has another layer.
But
But
it has a zip-in liner.
yeah, it does. It's just that the result of doing the two is kind of poofy, and I would rather something that was a little.
More compact.
And honestly, this gives me more options for the hood. If it's not actually raining, I want the hood to be warm. The sweatshirt hood is better than the. So I'm using this hood. The problem is that this hood is already,
Makes the blind man even blinder if you don't dress yourself.
it has a Velcro adjust, but it doesn't have Velcro back here, which is where I really want it.
Oh yeah.
Now I should change that. I could change that, but at this point, this jacket has seen better days.
I cut hoods off and do a nice hand job.
Well, I can just zip this
because
hood
I
off.
just don't like hoods generally.
Really?
I could just zip this hood
Well,
off if I needed to.
as you turn your head, a hood can block your peripheral vision.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you modify it just right. I do sewing and mending a lot. And so, man, these rats are just monstrous.
Everywhere.
See, this was fine because it will actually it will go too far forward, but not really because it sticks to my hair.
That's why I like hats instead.
I like hats rather than hoods, absolutely. So,
I just don't have any hats that are quite warm enough because usually I'm too hot wearing a hat.
you know what makes a great hat additional warmth? If your hat has a little room, put a handkerchief inside the hat.
I was gonna say newspaper.
This one does, and I mean
Or newspaper, yeah.
I can almost
Yeah, I learned newspapers insulating from.
oh yeah, that
classes
works.
on homelessness.
That works. I can do this if I really need to.
Stuff your
so.
clothes full of newspaper.
I learned newspaper from being homeless in Alabama.
Yeah. You learn shit when you need it.
Yeah. what you gotta do.
One of my favorite shows, Man in the Wilderness.
Yeah.
The guy, he climbs into piles of dry leaves to sleep.
That works too.
Yep.
If you got room inside your jacket, stuff the leaves in there. That'll keep you warm.
Well, in the movie Man in the Wilderness, Richard Harris stars as the guy that survives being abandoned after being mauled by a bear. God, my neck has been crunchy lately, and I've been making a certain pop. It's really satisfying, but before it pops, it's unpleasant.
So what's a little obnoxious about these gloves is that in some ways they're too big and in some ways they're still too small.
Well, that's a paradox.
The issue is that the wrist doesn't quite open up enough to be comfortable to get into it. But then when I put them on, they're a little too loose. I'm getting used to the fact that they're a little too loose. They're not going to shrink it. But, no, I really want to dig out, I didn't bring my electric can warmer, but I have.
Speaking of digging out, I think I'm going to take a can of ravioli over to the hatch.
Yeah, I tried this, and it doesn't really work because the pouches are in the way of my arm with a cane. This I can just push out of the way, but...
I like your muff system. That's cool. Your muff. Your
Yeah,
hand
this is
muff.
a less than $20, and it has a strap on it. I mean, it's got Somali if you want to do it that way.
Yep.
It's got
a pocket as well, doesn't it?
It has a little zip pocket on the back there. The zip pocket does not let you put like an electric hand warmer inside it. That's the one thing I wish it did. And there isn't a place to put an electric hand warmer inside here. But I have one left. I'm looking at the side. That is why I'm not finding the zipper. I have one left of these hand warmers that have their teeth. That is one problem.
Yeah, the Winco where I buy my hand warmers has had them out of stock for quite a while.
I have hand warmers.
Oh, I'm fine right now. But
She's got the good ones though.
Heather, if you have an extra set, I would gladly accept it.
What is that?
Because you never know, it's not quite warm weather yet. It might be warm during the day, but sometimes. Oh, I missed the fucking car.
I don't have another one of
Black
yours.
Blocked out place.
Yeah, Heather's got the ones that are actually that get hotter. So yeah, if you've got an extra one, I'd appreciate it. Because I don't have another. Just so you assholes don't think we don't hate your guts, we do. Fuck ice!
Every single one of them.
Since there's nobody in front of the building at the moment, we don't want them to get
They
the idea
saw
that...
us over here. They know we were
I'm sure.
They know we were the protesters. Thank you, Heather.
In case you assholes forgot who I am, my name is Joseph Carter. Charlie Alpha Romeo, Tango Echo Romeo. Assuming any of you know how to spell. I'm in.
Yeah, we know. There's a, if anybody needs a small garbage bag, I grabbed a few of them off the roll. They're technically the dog food bags, but they're clean off the roll. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you eat very hard, dry almonds?
I can't.
Oh, I have a whole thing of nuts here.
I gave them to Joseph to pass on because I have bad teeth and they.
Yeah, neither one of us have
there for you.
teeth or
Thank
nuts
you.
that are of the
Winco Foods mixed nuts, and I picked out all the others, but the almonds are still there.
See, these ones, they tend to get black stuff on your hand. Get in here. Get in there. They tend to get black stuff on your hands, but you know,
They're
the ones that
warmer.
actually get warm.
They're warmer than the hot hands.
Oh, very much, because there's a lot more in here.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be getting any more though. So,
Well, thank you.
Where do you get these from? I may get a pack of them. Okay.
I don't order from Amazon.
yeah, that's one reason why I might not be getting any more is because I'm heavy.
Well, God, the petitions I've signed recently, did you know Amazon used to forbid, or still maybe, forbids its employees from calling 911 in life-threatening emergencies and injury cases in their facilities. So that's freaking dangerous. Fuck their employees. They don't care. They don't want a record of injured employees to show up, and they're willing to risk the lives of their employees.
We'll see if they do that, you sue the shit out of them.
Well, yeah, that's one of the petitions I signed the other day.
I've actually talked to like a shift manager at one of the plants about river. And asked him a few of his questions about how they're not supposed to call 911. They said, well, we have medical staff on site. We like to take care of it in-house.
Oh, fuck that.
You're full of shit, dude.
Yeah, that's bullshit. I need to mount this front fender better. I also need to change the radius. And even at full pressure, these tires, depending on the lean, the flex of the tire causes the area by the rear fender stay to be to the right or left, causing the sidewalls to scrape the fender stays. I just need to take her all apart, beat it with a hammer, and put her back together.
Yep, we talk on Mondays because there haven't been people out here, especially when it's starting to get cold. And it's cold.
I got hard solid tires.
Oh yeah.
We tried solid tires on Katie's wheelchair. It was not a fun experience.
Why?
Every bump.
Yeah. 100%. Especially if you have like a foldable chair.
And hers doesn't fold, but the wheels come off.
Yeah.
Just push the pin and the whole wheels come off. And then the seat folds down. So
Yeah. Like mine does.
It doesn't, it's not one of the X-frame types. It's
So did you say that black car going into ice was a Crown Vic? Do you think?
There's
Big
that
black,
type of-
big black, rounded.
luxury type of car, yeah. That's exactly what it was.
That
same,
car-
same one that comes in here. Like,
Oh yeah. That specific car has come so freaking close to me, going so dangerously fast, that I've yelled, "If you touch me," yeah. If you go so fast, so near me, it's a threat to my life.
they don't have a problem with being a threat to people's lives because they
Obviously, yeah.
they believe they have absolute immunity.
Yep.
And the thing is, these motherfuckers are going to find out that they don't.
Yes, thank God for that. Oh, did you hear Trump's blanket pardon? He says anybody that's been within a few hundred feet of the Oval Office can commit any crimes they want because he's issuing
He says he will issue a pardon.
Preemptive pardon.
Well, he's saying that he will. He's preemptively telling you he's issuing a pardon on his way out the door.
In other words, go commit crimes as much as you want.
Well, they already have been.
Yeah.
But I mean, he said he can do what he wants. He says he's a king. He's a dictator. The thing is, he's not going to be able to give people a pardon if he dies in office. And the way his health is going, that is what's going to happen. It isn't going to be some asshole.
Have you seen the scabs that's on his neck?
I saw the rash. The dude probably has cancer.
Yeah.
Did you see the AI generated him as Christ healing?
The one that he posted? Yeah, and then deleted.
Freaking bullshit.
It was so blasphemous that he deleted it.
Yeah,
He thought he could get away with it, and he's like, oh.
It's because even people like Nick Fuentes was like, no, that's not cool.
Oh, he's already lost Fuentes. He's lost so many of the influencers, but the cultists are still with him.
Yeah.
Not all of them. The problem is that a lot of the cultists that are leaving are going to more extreme cults.
Yep. You got someone down there.
But they're also going to sit out the election. Trump can maybe, can maybe fraudulently fuck with 2 or 3% of the vote, but I think he's going to lose by more than 2 or 3%. The truth is, we have never unelected a dictator in the history of the world. The world has never done it. We might have a chance to do it this time, just because this motherfucker is so incompetent. He can't even dictate it right. And I don't have a problem with that.
I don't know.
I don't have a problem with the fact that he can't actually manage to do it. Now, the problem is, Vance probably could, but, he's got the charisma of a giant pile of dog shit.
It really wouldn't matter because he wouldn't be calling any shots anyways.
No, it'd be
just
Teal.
a fun-
It'd be
fun
Teal.
person. It'd
Yeah.
just be a fun person for
For Teal.
no, for
Miller, maybe, but I think Miller might be gone.
no, for the what's that fucking thing came?
Oh, it doesn't matter, any of them.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think that. I don't think that. I mean, he's a chameleon. He'll be whatever he needs to be. He always has been. He always will be. So I have started playing with Meshtastic.
Yeah, I got one of those in here too.
It's a useful little device. I'm on the Mesh Oregon network.
It can be.
I mean, I could get it on Mesh Core, but the idea of paying $8 per device seems for embrace, extend, and extinguish open source bullshit. No.
Who says you have to pay for Meshcore?
Mesh Core, like the ability to zoom in on the map, requires you actually pay.
Let me look. I think you might be getting scammed.
I haven't paid.
Okay, man.
But it had me more interested in Meshtastic than Mesh Core, even though Meshtastic is still missing features that were added to Mesh Core. They were originally the same project. Mesh Core was a fork. But it seems like it was a fork by a guy who wanted to make some money, and I'd rather keep it, free and open. In part because I want to get, I ideally want to, I want to hand these things out the way we hand out whistles.
Look into well, that gets expensive as fuck.
It can, because it's $20 a board. Minimum.
Yeah, minimum.
$20 for a board. Then you need cases and you need batteries.
And the time.
Yeah, but I mean the time is you can assembly line that shit. Do it in an afternoon and hand out 500 of them.
Huh. Yeah, right.
If you had the money to buy 500 of them. That's the problem is, if you want to get like one per household, what I'd really like to do, Mesh Core and Meshtastic both aren't quite there. What I would really like is my device knows where I am right now. Send out a broadcast message to anyone, any node that is listing its location as within a quarter mile of mine. And I can just say to them on the right channel, ICE just knocked on my door. Or they just came to my door. Now, obviously, I'm not an immigrant. And they're not going to think twice about me because I look whiter than I actually am. A lot whiter than I actually am. Actually. Though even if I weren't, I'd look white enough that they wouldn't question me too much. Are you a citizen? Yes. Okay, never mind. But if they came knocking on my door, I could just, as soon as I close the door, I can... Assuming I was dumb enough to ever open it.
Yeah.
I can just send out a message saying, ICE here at my location, and every node within a quarter mile goes ping. Every node that cares about, where's ICE. Now, of course, you can get fake reports, and that could flood the network with garbage.
Just, we can talk more about that when you're not streaming.
That's fair. What I decided is the software isn't there yet.
Well,
It's just not there yet.
you just need to look into a different stuff. I got you.
But then they started just busting in doors without, bothering to knock. So, we know where the people who aren't citizens are. We'll knock on the ones we think are citizens, but if we know there's someone in there who isn't, we just won't even knock. We'll just bust in the door. Who needs a warrant? We don't need no stinking warrant. Actually, it's like almost 11, so I probably should stop streaming soon. I did my ranting earlier.
Yeah.
Trump does have the best medical attention on planet Earth, unfortunately. We should all get what Congress gets. That should be an American's right, is to have the same level of medical care as Congress.
Medical care.
Or rather, Congress should have the same... Congress should have to deal with Medicare. If Congress had Medicare and that was their medical insurance, I bet Medicare would get a lot better. I don't know if any of my guys... Because a lot of... Like, my mods might be asleep by now. I haven't been paying attention. Trump can't even apologize when he's wrong. Happens quite a lot. Yep. That's part of the...
What the hell is this?
I don't want to provide a diagnosis because, A, I don't do clinical psychology for a reason. And B, he's not my patient, so I won't diagnose. But the dude's clearly got some sort of thing going on there. And if it is what I recognize it as...
He's what us shrinks like to say, he's got issues.
Yeah, he's got issues. And one of them is that he is incapable of admitting he's wrong. He was taught from a very early age. Yay, TriMet. They won't honk at this hour, but
This is usually all.
sometimes they honk.
catch the next streetcar.
And I think people are having a discussion on their own, and I am so far back in it. I think I probably should. I think I got some discussions going, but a lot of messages got deleted. So,
And that's the streetcar.
my mods are just like, my rules don't piss off my mod. I wasn't so far back as I thought. TriMet is the best. Yep.
I wouldn't go that far, but.
All right, guys. Well, it is well after 10. It's almost 11. I had 3 hours sleep. I'm going home to bed soon. So, y'all have a good night. As you saw, there wasn't a whole lot going out here tonight. A couple of people on the front line, but mostly, if you were here today, you were here for the conversation, and I appreciate you doing that. Thanks for staying. I know it's getting really late for you guys, so have a good night, and I will see you almost certainly tomorrow. Until then, have another taco, and yay TriMet.